Since moving to the heavenly court, Sun Wukong initially found it interesting, but gradually began to feel bored. It turned out this was part of the heavenly court's strategy. Life in the heavenly court was not pleasant for Sun Wukong. He felt idle and constantly sought various forms of amusement. One day, he heard that the heavenly court was holding the peach banquet and that all the deities were invited, except for him. Sun Wukong felt neglected, so he secretly sneaked into the peach garden and cast a spell that froze everyone in place. He then began to feast on the heavenly peaches and all kinds of divine wine. After eating and drinking his fill, he drunkenly sneaked into the palace of Laozi and stole a large amount of divine elixirs. These elixirs had been refined over 1,000 years, and consuming them could cure all ailments and even grant immortality. For Sun Wukong, consuming these elixirs not only rendered him immortal, but also gave him an indestructible body. When Laozi discovered this, he was furious and tied up Sun Wukong with an immortal binding rope, then threw him into the alchemical furnace, intending to incinerate him with the celestial flames. Although Sun Wukong had an indestructible body and was immortal, the flames inside the furnace were overwhelming, burning his eyes shut. He could only huddle in a corner, gasping for air. However, the celestial flames scorched his eyes, eventually refining them into a pair of fiery eyes and golden pupils, allowing him to see through any demon or deity's transformation, making it easy for him to see through all kinds of illusions. Laozi stood outside the furnace, continuously urging the flames. 49 days passed, and Laozi thought that Sun Wukong should have been incinerated by now, so he opened the furnace to check. To his surprise, the moment the furnace was opened, Sun Wukong leapt out, pulled out his golden staff, and struck, knocking over Laozi's alchemical furnace. Instantly, celestial flames burst out, throwing the entire palace of Laozi into chaos. When the Jade Emperor learned of Sun Wukong's actions, he was enraged and decided to send more heavenly soldiers to capture him. This time, the army was led by the 4 heavenly kings and General Li. They tried every means possible, but still could not subdue Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong used his magical abilities, changing forms constantly, and defeated the heavenly army. With no other options, the Jade Emperor finally invited Buddha to help. Buddha arrived in the heavenly court and offered to personally subdue Sun Wukong. When Sun Wukong saw Buddha, he believed himself to be invincible and looked down on Buddha. He made a wager with Buddha, claiming he could escape from Buddha's palm. Buddha accepted the wager and extended his hand, inviting Sun Wukong to escape. Confident, Sun Wukong used his somersault cloud to travel 80,000 miles away. He kept flying and eventually reached a place where he saw 5 towering stone pillars. Sun Wukong tried to fly up and down the pillars, but found no end in sight. Thinking he had reached the edge of the world, he carved, "The great sage equal to heaven was here," on one of the pillars, and left his mark in the form of urine as a sign that he had reached the world's boundary. He then quickly flew back to Buddha and said, "Hey, Buddha, I've reached the edge of the world. What do you think?" Buddha looked at him with a smile and said, "Oh, really?" He then opened his fingers, revealing the words, The great sage equal to heaven was here, along with a faint smell of urine. Sun Wukong exclaimed, "This doesn't count. It doesn't count." Buddha, furious, said, "You unruly monkey. It seems I must teach you a lesson." Stunned, Sun Wukong tried to escape, but Buddha's fingers quickly turned into 5 great mountains, pinning him down. A talisman then descended from the sky and adhered to the mountains. Thus, Sun Wukong was trapped under the 5 Elements mountain, with only his head exposed